I'm ready.
We're ready, and we're back in a brand new Subjectively studio. This is our first Fan Art Friday from New Subjectively HQ.
Subjectively HQ 3.0. Everything's made of glass and chrome here.
This is actually the fourth location we've recorded, and I would say that this is our highest quality setup yet.
On account of the chrome and glass.
Right, of course. Yes, all of the machinery. There's all this high-tech laser.
There's like a little floating android next to us right now holding up the mic.
And it's good too because the way the sound bounces off the pool behind us.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
The one that's on the big, like the infinity pool on the balcony that overlooks Cincinnati.
Pool.
Yeah. So anyway, we're back, and we're excited to do another Fan Art Friday. We got a bunch of new awesome artwork from you guys that we want to go through, highlight some of our favorites, and talk about why we like them. So we're going to start off here. This one comes to us from artist Prince Fluff. Prince Fluff submitted to us a drawing of what I would assume to be their trainer Sona.
Their Mazian trainer Sona.
Yes, they're with their Mazian team. So they got kind of like a water thing going on. They got like a wetsuit and a little bathing suit, and they have 3 water types, and then Road Raptor and Dupadillo. And it's a really cute piece.
Yeah, tasteful choices of Mons.
Yeah, good Mons, some of my favorites, although I'm sorry to everyone who likes Bathygigas, because Bathygigas might be up for a rework. But anyway, I think what I love most about this is drawing the Pokemon in such energetic poses. Mm-hmm. I remember I used to draw when I was younger, and I used to draw like my Pokemon teams a lot. Like I would like pick 6 Pokemon and I draw my trainer with them a lot.
I think that was the first piece of art I did for you, actually.
Oh yeah, you drew my team.
Years ago. But this is a lot of fun. It's really kind cute. Of like an art meme almost for people who are Pokemon fans to draw themselves and their team.
Yeah.
It's a pretty popular format, and it's really cool that you took it one step further and drew our Pokémon. And I love that it's a wetsuit and it's oceanside. That's so perfect for the setting and the themes of the game. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I also like how they took a shiny Zolsmol. I like how it's tasteful. It's just like one shiny. Like I like how realistic that is. It's like, you know, I'm not gonna go farm for a ton of shinies. I just like the shiny Zolsmol. It's very cute.
Leave that to the pros.
Yeah, well, but yeah, this was really cute, really great art, and it's definitely got my method of quote unquote background, where it's sort of like a geometric shape. Like that's how I do it too. Like I spend all my time drawing the characters, and I'm like, I'll put a little something.
Well, the nice thing about
round
an
out the
ocean
composition
scene is you just need a couple different gradients of blue, and you are all set.
You get that vibe. They plan the composition with all of the characters, and then there's just a nice simple shape in the background to give you a sense of context. And very cool. Thank you, Prince Fluff.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is actually a very interesting premise for fan art. So I don't know if I've talked about it before on this channel. I'm sure I'm not the first person to have this idea. But Shadow SNS sent us their interpretations of ancient forms of the 3 shark fossil Pokemon that I made. This is sort of like a reinterpretation of fossil Pokemon. I've talked about this before. So the fossil Pokemon in the world of Pokemon are recreated from the fossils, and especially in my fossil Pokemon that I made, their forms are sort of changed from how they existed in prehistoric times to modern day because of the way that they were fossilized. So charcoal.
The process of reanimation has altered the design.
Yeah, and the actual like fossilization, because they were opalized fossils, changed the way the Pokemon looked. So this is a reinterpretation of how these Pokemon would look before they went extinct and before they were reanimated as fossil Pokemon. I think this is a really cute idea. I've done this before in my own artwork where I've redrawn fossil Pokemon as they would look before they were reanimated, and maybe these Pokemon would just be water types.
It seems in their ancient form, these Pokemon were also meaner.
They do look, without all the pink and everything, they look a lot more menacing.
I feel like they're going to be
swirly eyes.
This is like, it's the stereotypical gang of bullies. You can tell which one is like the stupid one, which one is the mean one, which one's the leader.
Yeah, I do get that vibe. It definitely reminds me of Finding Nemo a little bit with Bruce and Mako and Chum, I think, are the other 2 sharks' name. But it's really cute because, and this one spoke to me. The artwork is very good, but it really spoke to me because this is just something that I did a lot when I was younger, when I was thinking about Pokemon, and I was like, oh, it would be cool if like there was a version of Armaldo where it was Bug Water instead of Bug Rock. This was before there was a cool Bug Water Pokemon like Golisopod. But
it's also just great to see a fan taking these designs and then thinking about the concept one step beyond what we provided.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's really
Good job.
thinking about the character design on the same level that the people who created it thought of. So great job. Thank you, Shadow SNS. Love it. Okay, so this one, I always love to see fan art of our less popular subjects. This is very specific fan art for one of my characters, Bonnie, and specifically one piece in particular that I did for Bonnie that I put in a video that only got like maybe 12,000 views. So at least some people are watching them.
12,000 is like the heyday of Subjectively HQ 2.0.
But anyway, so this was fan art of my character, Bonnie, and it's really good.
I'm really enjoying the Z space here, especially the way you turned these like spectral energy plasma hair pieces into a framing device.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like an RPG final boss.
Yeah.
It's just so massive and you have to like fight your way around it to get to the weak spot, which of course is this glowing eye to save your friend. Save Kyrie from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, Kyrie. Yeah, actually, the world of Benefit and Benevolent is going to be in the new Kingdom Hearts game.
It's a crossover with Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
So that means that Mickey is canon?
Mickey is, I mean, yes, there are just infinite universes, so Mickey Mouse is canon in the world of Benefit and Benevolent. Oh, this came to us from MEB Arts, by the way.
Who we have featured.
Yes,
before.
I recognized that name before, but I feel like the last artwork that they submitted was very different from this.
Well, it was, if I remember right, it was the mermaid piece that was the museum.
Yeah, with the fossil.
So what's interesting to me is that was another piece that had a figure in silhouette in the foreground.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
highlighted
that's right,
something
it
else,
did.
So I'm seeing the
Okay.
consistencies.
Yeah, and it had that same lighting where it was
Yeah.
almost all in silhouette, but it had that strong lighting from the front. This is actually a really hard thing to do that I am still figuring out right now. I'm just starting to do it. It's like figuring out which surfaces the strongest highlights would actually hit if a light source was coming just from one direction.
I think especially as an artist, because reflective light is so attractive, you are often tempted to just add highlight to everything.
And it can get lost. But really, and this is what they do well in this piece, and what the strength of that style of rendering is it gives you a very clear form. So this piece is pretty dark, but when you include those super bright highlights, you can very clearly see the silhouette in the foreground, but not so much that it distracts from, the middle ground, which is the main focus of the piece.
An important thing to remember when you're working with such high contrast in a piece is the viewer is going to look at the highest contrast areas first, so it's a really effective tool for guiding the eye too, especially with all of these dynamic lines at the base of the piece, drawing the viewer into that almost black to that almost completely saturated green, and then up with Bonnie's figure, and then the hair spreads around, so you kind of take everything in a second time holistically. It's a really good example of how to guide the eye, this composition.
Yeah. And it's funny too, the other thing about the pose was that when I did this piece, the piece that this fan art is based off of, I was actually doing it sort of as fan art to another artist that I really like, who does a lot of really dynamic posing and stuff like that. So this is really fan art of fan art in a way, because I drew my own character, but I drew it in the style of another artist who I really look up to. And I really
what I'm really enjoying about this especially is I remember when you did that piece and I took a picture of you as a reference.
Oh yeah, I have
with like a fisheye.
Yeah, my
so
hand is really close to the camera.
Echo of Jack in this piece.
Yeah, I think if you watch the video that this piece was featured in, you can see in my process that picture on my canvas. So
There's
you can see me doing that crazy. I don't think I'm wearing a shirt. Maybe don't actually watch that video in that case. But anyway, thank you so much, MEB Arts. Very cool. I'm glad you like Bonnie. I'm glad you liked that piece, because this was a piece I was very proud of, so I'm glad other people liked it. Thank you. So I really like this art style. So this came to us from Sage Afro. Great name. And this is a really cute fan art of 3 of the decoy Pokemon. 2 of them actually exist, and one is the one that we made for the Maza region, Bonneau. And this one really stood out to me just because of the art style.
Yeah, it's very expressive.
Yeah, I love it. It's got a really like pop kind of feel to it with the super saturated yellow, and then this like the blue values in all of the characters.
Yeah, it works really well with these designs, which are relatively simple and very round, because it adds a really strong graphic element that's very energetic. It characterizes all of these little critters very effectively.
And I love how I'm not sure if I have the right word for it. Gestural is sort of the word I want to use, but it's a little more than gestural. The line work.
It's like frenetic.
Yeah, okay, frenetic. That's a good word for it. It's so. You can really feel the hand moving on it.
Yeah.
You can feel the personality of the artist with the hand moving on these lines, you know? I just love it. It feels so personal. Like, it feels like I know a little bit about this artist, whoever made this.
If those Sharkies were like the bully trio, these are the snotty kids who annoy the main character.
These are like the onion, carrot, and what were the guys
Pepper.
from One Piece? Yeah, those guys.
They're like those kids
they're
from
good
Naruto.
spirited, but they're also like they're pains in the ass. I like it.
Mischief abounds.
Mischief about. I also really like the way they did Voltorb in this because Voltorb is a circle, but they didn't just draw a circle. Like it's lumpy and it's imperfect,
and he's been like kicked around.
Yeah,
and he keeps hurting himself. It's great.
Just it's very simple, but the way they use color for the values is so impactful. Like this is when I look through all of the fan art that's submitted on the Discord, like things that grab me are things like this with that really punchy, like colored value. You know, not just like a darker version of whatever color that they're using here. I mean, that's like purple on like a desaturated red, and it's just like it's so grabby, and I love that. Very good job.
Great work.
Thank you, Sage Afra. So this came to us from Jace Illust, and this is a really nice painting of lupacobra, which was one of the earliest Pokemon that I made for the Maza region, and this gives it a really creepy vibe, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, this is so atmospheric. It's got that real cryptid, like, is that what I just saw in the woods? Like, it's mostly in shadow, but it's got that moonlight hitting the back, and then
the light on the thin membranes of the ears.
Yeah, the way that's coming through. Yeah, there's a great sense of texture in here. And it's cool because it's like, it's pretty much the same proportions as the Pokemon that I drew in the Pokemon style, but it's got that realistic rendering. I mean, they got that hair really well.
This is like the same level of rendering as Pokken.
Oh, yeah,
which
yeah.
is really effective, especially when lupacobra is in this like hunting stance,
Yeah.
and you can see the lankiness, but also the power in those limbs. You can really picture it like in that Warwick cinematic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's
then
got the
pulling back and slashing.
Yeah.
It's really effective. I like that you didn't go too far with the realistic elements because it keeps it in that realm of fantasy.
Yeah, you added details where it was important, like the little like breath coming out of its mouth there, and then like the way the light hits the fur and the way the light shines through the ear, but it's not over rendered. It's not like the Detective Pikachu movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's not hyper realistic. It's just got realistic textures
It's
in there.
painterly.
If this was my piece, I really would have fudged this background, but they spent time on the background too. You know, they considered it as part of the composition. They did a really good study with the way the light shines through trees, moonlight shining through a night lit tree forest. Like, that's hard to do.
I have to say, I also really enjoy that they resisted the temptation to go in and render the background too much.
Yeah.
They kept this really soft quality that gives it a very atmospheric and mystifying vibe. Really effective. I really, really enjoy that one of the only really hard edges and points of super high contrast is that pink eye on the face and shadow. Really great work here.
That too also really makes me think of like found footage of cryptids, but I love it. And I it's funny because we've actually gotten a lot of fan art of Lupacobra, but they've mostly been like cutesy because in the Pokedex entry I said how like Lupacobra is misunderstood and everyone thinks it's really scary, but it's actually not. But you know, what I like about this piece is he's not doing anything terrifying, he's just kind of menacing.
He just looks scary.
Yeah, maybe if you got its attention, it would kind of come over and like kind of sniff you and then walk away, but like it's still it's got that cryptid, like what is it gonna do kind of ominousness to it, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Great job. Okay, this is a really cute one. This came to us from Waffler, and it's pretty simple, but it's really cute, and I like the little story that they have here. So some more Crowcrozin artwork. Obviously, we're always fans of Crowcrozin, and this one very vividly displays its ability, where if it gets hit by an ice-type move, it turns into its frozen form, and if it gets hit by a fire-type move, it thaws into its thawed form.
So this piece is really cute, but Crowcrozin is having a really tough day.
This
is just not fair.
It's kind of getting abused, and I like how happy Torkoal looks.
I know.
Torkoal, maybe Torkoal thinks he's helping. Maybe Torkoal's like, you're being frozen. Here, I'll thaw you up. I don't know. Crowcrozin looks okay with it.
I feel like it's having trouble emoting. through the suffering it's enduring.
I feel like this is the second piece of Crowcrozin art where we had to feel bad for Crowcrozin, where we had the other 3D model where he kept fainting. But it's still, I love it. It's cute. I mean, it's so simple, but I love just, it feels like one of those things that you would see like in the little like Pokedex books that you would buy from like Borders.
We could have a caption contest.
Oh yeah.
Caption this.
Put in the comments, caption this. What is Crowcrozin thinking right now? But this is really cute. I mean, it's simple artwork, very clear narrative of what's going on here, but I like it. And of course, I'm always a fan of Crowcrozin artwork. We always love to see the
Crowcrozin, America's sweetheart.
Waffler, thank you so much for this. Very cute.
Thank you. Great work.
All right, so this one came to us from Guto Sprite. This was fan art from our most recent League of Legends videos where I did a couple of League of Legends pool party skins, and Claire did splash art for it. And one of them was Pool Party Volibear, which I was really happy with. I really liked it. Volibear is one of my favorite characters in the game. And in the video, I talked about how I sort of wanted Volibear to look like he was the mascot of some kind of like soda company. And here it is. He ends up with his Volibear.
He's like the Coca-Cola polar bear's dirty cousin.
Yeah, this is like if the Coca-Cola polar bear got onto for Affinity or something, and he got ripped, and he was like now just advertising full-on alcohol.
The combination of the graphic line work, bright colors, rude mascot, it's really reminding me of those craft beer labels that just have crazy over-the-top art. Like, neither Jack or I are really beer drinkers, but I love looking at craft beer packaging because it's so colorful. It feels comparable to album art in levels of just deference to artists' visions.
Yeah, I can really see like a ripped blue man bear, throwing a beer in your face.
Volibear IPA.
But I also like imagining that it's a soft drink too. Like it's just called Volibear, and like the cool kids drink it. I love it. It's very cute. I was really happy with this design, so I'm glad someone else liked it too. And it's awesome. So thank you, Guto Sprite. Very great.
Stay cool.
Stay awesome. A little thumbs up there. Some more atmospheric Maza region paintings here. This one came to us from the artist Sheeb, and this is a really nice, another very atmospheric painting of Mazian Persian.
But so intense compared to the last piece we saw from Sheeb, which was the Mini Mellow.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. This has got, it shows another.
It still has that radiant light quality.
Yeah,
and it's such a different setting.
But it shows the scope of this artist's skills. But they definitely like light, and they definitely have a great sense of brushwork. This is like 15 different brushes, I feel like, in this piece. And they do a really great job at simplifying brush strokes to just imply different things. Like when things are in the foreground, like these reeds that are catching the light here in the foreground, like you don't really want to over render those because you want the focus to stay in the middle ground on the face of the Persian. But you do want to have that sense, like, that you can see where the light is coming from and get this sort of like late in the day Persian is resting out in the grass. It doesn't look like it's on the hunt though. It looks like it's relaxing,
It's an observer.
Yeah, it looks like maybe it's like scoping out, how like predatory cats, they say to like sit there and they watch all of the grazing animals. It's like, I'm not going for anything yet, but like I'm picking out the ones I like. This is I would imagine that they had a good reference for this.
Yeah, especially the light quality on the fur.
Yeah.
Going into those shadows.
Yeah, I feel like that this emulates your painting style a little bit.
With the mark making?
Yeah, I think that all the different brushworks, and there's a lot of black in it too. They have like the darkest parts of it are pretty much black, and then they have these nice little mid-tones of really saturated red and orange to get that sense of the light coming through the fur. I'm really seeing that your influence shining through a little bit here. And it's just, there are a lot of really professionally considered things in this. I mean, the fact that the background is green and the foreground and the middle ground are both have yellows and reds. I mean, that contrast works so well.
I also really enjoy the cropping on this. These black borders make it feel very cinematic.
It's like a documentary. It's panning over and David Attenborough is talking about the Mazian Persian. This is another Pokemon design that I was really happy with too, so I'm glad other people like it. So everything about this, fantastic, really great painting.
Great work.
Love it. Thank you so much. Okay, so this artist we've definitely done before. This is Jason Blasco, and they are known for their awesome hyper-realistic 3D renders of Maza region Pokemon. And this one is also incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of detail, I'm really glad they gave us a close-up shot of the head on Quetzillian here, because the amount of detail that they put into every aspect of this, the scales on the jaw under the mask, the carvings, they even like improvised some more carvings. Like, I didn't put this much detail into the helmet, but they knew that they wanted to fill up that negative space. And it's incredible. I don't know enough about 3D rendering to even consider how much thought goes into these textures. It's incredible. And look at the way, I mean, that's how bird feathers work. And when they ruffle up at the base of the neck like that, I mean, that looks so real. It's so thoughtfully done. And I mean, there's a good consistent light source in there. And I love the fire on the tail, the pink fire. I mean, this came out amazing. Just so awesome.
There's a real professional level of finish here.
Yeah, I wonder, do we know, is this person a professional 3D renderer? Because you could definitely find work with these skills.
This is a portfolio piece for sure.
Absolutely.
Excellent
I love it.
work.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jason. Hope we get to see some more from you, because I love seeing these. All right, so that was the last one. So thank you guys all so much for another amazing month of fan art. Now, of course, there are some things that we didn't feature in this video. We couldn't put all of the fan art from the fan art Discord in this video, but if you want to check out all of the stuff that was submitted, be sure to hit up our Discord. And thank you all the people who submitted. Can't wait to see some more work from you guys. Next month is going to be Smoggest. Posted the list already in Discord. I think there's already some artwork in the Smoggest channel. So be sure to check the Smoggest channel, and if you want to submit any of your Smoggest designs to the Fan Art Friday video for August, please feel free. We'd love to see them. All right, guys, thank you so much.
So much.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Peace.